So just for a bit of context in terms of what I need to get to meet my offer for my first choice university, which is Cambridge, I need to get 2 A stars, an A and a pass, with the 2 A stars being in both maths and further maths, and then the A and the pass being in either or physics and economics. So as long as I get an A in physics or economics and pass the other one, that's good enough. That will make me meet my offer. And then in terms of what I want to get, obviously I would like to get 4 A stars, but at the end of the day, I would be content with just meeting the grades I need for my offer. So yeah, let's just see what happens.
Right, so as you can see, it's now 8:06. May as well just look at them, get it over with. Okay, so as you saw, I managed to get 4 A stars. I am obviously really happy with that. First thing first, I'm gonna go tell my family, and yeah, I also need to go to work in 10 minutes, so I probably won't speak to you, but yeah, speak to you later on.
But before I continue, I want to quickly mention this video's sponsor, which is MediCoach Tuition. Now, for various reasons, studying and preparing for GCSE and A-level exams isn't always plain sailing. And oftentimes, trying to find tutors to help and support you isn't always affordable, and these tutors may not be the most relatable, and you may not be the most comfortable around them. But this is where MediCoach Tuition comes in. They are extremely affordable, and we're talking around half the price of what other tutors offer. What's more, they partner you with A-star and grade 9 students from top UK universities who have sat the exact same exam board as you to make sure their sessions are as effective and beneficial as possible. Just this summer, they've helped so many students achieve their dream grades and get into their dream universities. And as part of this deal, MediCoach have allowed me to give away a 1-hour, completely free tuition session to one of you watching now. This session can be in a subject of your choice with a top tutor. And all you have to do to be entered into this draw is leave a comment down below by the 1st of September and you're in. And this free session is on top of the free session you already get when you sign up to MediCoach to meet your new tutor, sit down, have a conversation with them, and outline the steps you need to achieve your goals. You can check out their Instagram and website for more details and information on how to sign up. But be as quick as possible as places are filling up as we speak. As a former tutor myself, I can truly say that MediCoach is incorporating the best and most effective learning strategies, and I honestly could not recommend them more. So be sure to check them out or recommend them to a friend if you want affordable, effective, and practical help achieving your goals in your exams.
Right, so I've had a bit of time to kind of digest my results, and now I'm going to look through and share my marks, also have a quick look at the grade boundaries, and kind of discuss my thoughts around the exams. So first let's look at economics, and I did AQA economics. So in paper 1, which is about microeconomics, I got 78 out of 80. In paper 2, which is about macroeconomics, I got 69 out of 80. And in paper 3, which is kind of a mix between micro and macro, I got 73 out of 80. So this comes to a grand total of 220 out of 240, or 92%. And I'm definitely very happy and also very surprised by this, especially my paper 1 score, because if you watched my video where I kind of gave my thoughts and feelings initially after sitting my exams, you would know that economics paper 1 was my worst paper out of them all. I thought I did the worst in that, and out of all 13 exam papers I sat, I thought that one was definitely the worst, and it turned out being one of the best. And that's definitely a lesson in terms of the fact that how you feel after doing the exam may not and does not always correlate to how well the exam actually went. You know, in this case, I thought I did much better in macro than micro, much better in paper 2 than paper 1, but in actuality, that wasn't the case. Also, this shows how ridiculously harsh the economics teachers at my college have marked me this year. So out of all the 25 marker homeworks and mocks I've done this year, I have not once got higher than 20 out of 25. And in all honesty, I thought the 25 markers I had done in the exams were slightly below the level I had done for homeworks. And you know, also in my mocks, I was kind of getting between 55 and 60 out of 80 in economics. And I just thought I wasn't that good at A-level economics. But it turns out the teachers are really harsh, and as a department at my college, we did really well. So I guess if you're watching this and you're a couple years below, a couple years away from your A-levels, just know that the marks your teachers give you may not always correlate to the actual marks you're getting and the actual quality of work you're putting in. As for the grade boundary for economics this year, it was 175 out of 240, or 73%, which from memory is quite a bit lower than it has been for previous years, and I'm pretty happy that I was quite comfortable in the A-star bracket. So the next set of marks to look at is for further maths, and I did Pearson and Excel further maths. And as for the options I picked, I did further statistics 3B and further mechanics 3C. And this was my mark breakdown for each paper. So paper 1, core pure 1, I got 73 out of 75. Paper 2, core pure 2, I got 70 out of 75. Paper 3, which for me was further statistics, I got 72 out of 75. And finally paper 4, which was further mechanics, I got 73 out of 75. Which then gives me a grand total of 288 out of 300, or 96%. So overall, I'm pretty happy with this. I knew that I did worse in paper 2 because I made some silly mistakes. At the end of the day, kind of getting 70 or above was kind of the baseline I set myself for further maths, so that's quite good. Although I am a little bit annoyed for the silly mistakes I must have made in kind of Core Period 1, further statistics and further mechanics, because I must have checked those each at least 3 times, so I'd kind of be interested to know where I dropped those marks. And then this year for further maths, for my options, the grade boundary for an A star was 243 out of 300. And I think this may be slightly higher than previous year's grade boundaries have been, but I do think this year's papers were slightly easier, so that kind of makes sense. And then the next set of marks they gave me was for A-level maths, and I did Edexcel for this as well. So paper 1 I got 95 out of 100, paper 2 I also got 95 out of 100, and paper 3 I got 98 out of 100, giving me a grand total of the exact same mark I got in further maths, so 288 out of 300, or 96%. Overall, this is okay. I'm happy with my mark for paper 3 for the statistics and mechanics paper, but I'm kind of annoyed with my paper 2 mark because I checked that quite a few times and I don't remember making any mistakes. So that's a bit annoying, but hey ho. As for paper 1, I knew I made a mistake with the Bombers question. I also probably made a couple more silly mistakes, such as rounding errors or unit errors, stuff like that. And then the grade boundary for an A star this year for maths was 217 out of 300. Or 72%, which I think is similar to what it's been previous years. And then the final set of marks I was given was for physics, and I do AQA with the engineering option. So for paper 1, I got 74 out of 85, for paper 2, I got 71 out of 85, and for paper 3, I got 59 out of 80, giving me a total of 204 out of 250, or 82%. So I'm happy with my marks for paper 1 and paper 2. Kind of in the 70s was what I was looking for, so I'm happy with that. However, I've kind of let myself down with paper 3. I dropped quite a few marks there, but I kind of knew that going in. I probably didn't put as much effort into preparing for that exam as I should have done, and as a whole, I found paper 3 harder than both paper 1 and paper 2. But the thing that surprised me the most was how low this year's grade boundaries were for AQA A-level physics. So for an A star this year for the engineering option, you needed to get 166 out of 250, or 66%, which in terms of raw marks is considerably lower than what it was for 2019, for papers that I didn't think were much harder, if they were harder at all. Just for a bit of context, if you were to get 166 out of 250 in 2019, that would place you at a B. So those grade boundaries really did drop. I guess people must have found this year's papers harder, but yeah, that did really surprise me. So those were my marks, and now let's talk about kind of next steps and kind of a quick review of the 2022 exam process and procedure. So for me, in terms of next steps, I will now be going off to Cambridge to study economics, which was a goal I set myself 2 years ago when I started sixth form. In terms of reviewing the 2022 exam process, I think on the whole, it was run quite well. As I mentioned previously, I think the advanced information was generally well used, and that the transparency of this year's grade boundaries being placed percentage-wise, kind of halfway between 2019 levels and 2021 levels, was both useful and stuck to. So on the whole, I think exams this year were run well. I don't think this year's students were as disadvantaged as they could have been, and from speaking to friends and peers, I think on the whole, a lot of people were happy with how it was run and the grades they achieved. So those are my thoughts after receiving my 2022 A-level exam results. Remember to leave any comment down below by the 1st of September with a chance of winning that free tutoring session from MediCoach. And please feel free to leave any comments about your next steps, your grades, how you personally feel the exams are run this season, or any other general queries and questions. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.